You got into my system. Now I'm wide awake. Want you here, but you don't wanna listen. My mind is in a haze. You're my clarity. I want you here with me. I know you've been tripping, been treating you bad. You're my only lover, you're the best that I had. You wanna seek on the buttons.
Yes, I'm from the street, I'm from the gully where they will not let my people out. So we're praying that it evens out. Rich mind cause we're being without. So yes, this is a blessing still. And you know my people in the street and they all just wanna scream and shout. Will I let me meme around? All my people are disabled out. So yes, this is a blessing still. Cause I'm from a place where see the kids don't get no help, there's no daycare. I'm from a place where leave the situation, we're in deeper situations. Where the kids them in a stool still, but don't get no education. Wow, see. I'm from a place where the kids don't get no help, there's no daycare. I'm from a place, yeah. Hey, need the situation, we're in deeper situations. Where the kids them in a school still, but don't get no education. Back at it, the kid's back and he's back rapping. The hood's fake, I'm swinging, I'm Rick Hatton. Bad habits, I'm still young, but I still manage. There's ways out, but we're still stuck in this mad traffic. I'm from a place where there's beggars and some crack addicts. Baby boys off track, that's a miscarriage. And where it goes off that's a known savage. Because the youngers don't play around there, try and play around there. I'm from a place where see the kids don't get no help, there's no daycare. I'm from a place where leave the situation, we're in deeper situations. Where the kids them in a school still, but don't get no education. Wow, see. I'm from a place where the kids don't get no help, there's no daycare. I'm from a place, yeah. Hey, need the situation, we're in deeper situations. Where the kids them in a school still, but don't get no education.
Body's moving slow, spinning in the afterglow. Got it feeling so good. 'Cause this love is all night. This love is alright. This love is all night. This love is alright. Breathe the air just like a fire, we can't control it. See explosions in the sky, moving faster than the sun over the horizon. Can't sit all to feel alive. Breathe the air just like a fire, we can't control it. See explosions in the sky, moving faster than the sun over the horizon. Can't sit all to feel alive. Body's moving slow, spinning in the afterglow, dancing till the daylight. 'Cause this love is all night. This love is alright. This love is all night. This love is alright. Breathe the air just like a fire.
used before lonely. Now I'm worth fighting for. Echoes bounce between your walls. I see when your curtains fall. My pride, bitch, but you know I caught your bluff. Now you are the victims of I had enough. Cruising on the joyride, light heart, I feel free. You're out of the picture, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Boy, c'est la vie. Down, c'est la vie. Boy, c'est la vie. Down, boy. Now you see me when you can steal my shine. Feel me when I'm not yours this time. Let go. I'm not the one to blame. I see that you are still the same. My pride, bitch, but you know I caught your bluff. Now you are the victims of I had enough. Cruising on the joyride, light heart, I feel free. You're out of the picture, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Boy, c'est la vie. Down, c'est la vie. Boy, c'est la vie. Down, we're such a sad face. Why such a sad face? Why such a sad face? Why such a sad face? Now you cry like a bitch, but you know I caught your bluff. Now you are the victims of I had enough. Cruising on a joyride, light heart, I feel free. You're out of the picture, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Boy, c'est la vie. Down, c'est la vie. Boy, c'est la vie. Down, boy.
He walks alone, he wanders into the night, searching for some meaning to explain what he's feeling. She walks alone, she shelters far from the light. She's seeking validation. She's so tired of waiting here. I got the feeling you've been expecting me. No chance encounter. Right here's where you're meant to be. Our paths are crossing. How can we sing when we're never sober? Don't know when to stop, so it's never over. I know that we are bad for us, but doesn't being bad feel good? Burning for days like a supernova. How can we change? Never always want to. Are we okay? Well, it's like I told ya. Our love is like a paper cut. I know we're gonna mess it up. I feel the weight pressing on my shoulder. So give me that paper cut. Give me that paper cut. Give me that. How can we change now that others want it? Are we okay? Well, it's like I told ya. Our love is like a paper cut. I know we're gonna mess it up. I feel the weight pressing on my shoulder. So give me that paper cut. Give me that paper cut. Give me that, give me that. Take off my dress with dirty fingers. I must confess with dirty creatures. Swear you'll never leave me. We're fading now, but I believe not even God could come between us. So give me that paper cut. Give me that paper cut. I don't care if everybody hates us, 'cause if you're mad, then baby I'm outrageous. If this is love, then love is dangerous, but I won't give you up. No, no, I won't give you up. So give me that paper cut. Give me that paper cut. Give me that, give me that. Take me down and drive me with you, baby. I promise it won't faze me. I promise it won't break me. 'Cause I've been dreaming of an overdose. That's where I love you most. Decompress and just let go. And give me that paper cut. Give me that paper cut. I don't care if everybody hates us, 'cause if you're mad, then baby I'm outrageous. If this is love, then love is dangerous, but I won't give you up. No, no, I won't give you up. So give me that paper cut.
Coming up tonight, G2 return, this time to take on Optic, before LDLC collide with FaZe. After a shaky performance last night, G2 are still yet to pin a win on the board. Mouse proved too much for the French side to handle, and although Inferno looked more promising than Nuke, G2 still lost out 16-14. Now they will turn to face Optic, a team who've shown promise against the likes of Virtus Pro and FaZe. Sitting with 2 wins and 2 losses, Snappy has had a standout performance so far, and may be the difference maker as they lock heads with G2. Then, another French side comes out to play, this time as LDLC clashes with FaZe. Having only faced Mouse so far, LDLC sit with 1 win and 1 loss. The French side will be looking to continue the dominant form they displayed on Nuke, as their unpredictability proved too much to handle. FaZe will be the next team to step up to the plate. With 2 close games against Optic, FaZe managed to pick up the win on Overpass after a solid CT side. With Nico now in-game leading, a fresh approach may be just what the team needs to reignite their fire. But will they prove superior against LDLC? Find out right here at youtube.com/FACEIT.
Very deep in A, waiting for the info. Got 2 angles to hold them. They were coming to him, but now there's a big problem.
It may be beautiful outside here in Santa Monica, but we're here for the Counter-Strike. It's ECS Season 6. My name is Henry G. We'll be bringing you all the action today from the European Division and, of course, North American just after. We've got 8 maps at Counter-Strike to bring you today. I'll be joined, as always, by James Bardolph and DDK. Gentlemen, are you ready for the Counter-Strike today?
I am very ready, Henry.
Yeah?
What have you got for us? I've had 2 games of CS already this morning.
Oh, really? How did they go? You seem chirpy, so maybe they went well.
Yeah, I won the game on FACEIT, and then just to avoid overtime, I played a game of matchmaking.
Nice.
That was all over the place, but who cares?
Any CS for you, Dan? Or
No.
what did you do this morning?
Just slept a bit more.
Slept a bit more. Exciting stuff.
Got a crave.
Riveting
Got
as
some
always.
coffee.
Thank you so much. It will be the social media plugs for you. Don, you bring us those and try and wake yourself up. Let's get into it.
On Twitter, at ECS.
Bloody hell. How many times do you need to do this before you're going to nail it?
Well, yeah, just doing the thing with my shirt. Really
Okay,
cool.
go on, do it
Get
again.
involved
Start
in the
again.
discussion. Send us some tweets, hashtag ECSS6. And make sure to check out csgoleague.com for all the information schedules and everything else you want to know about the league and what's going on with it. And, of course, you can also find out more information about our finals there.
Oh, that's
Marvelous.
a good segue. You've done good there. We do have some finals coming up, don't we, James?
We do indeed. Are coming up in Arlington, Texas in November 22nd, 23rd, 24th and 25th at the Esports Stadium. It's going to be very interesting indeed. Texas, home of the steaks,
Yes.
home of the beef,
And
home
the
of
gums.
the meat. You can go to restaurants, you don't even get plates, man. You just get meat in paper.
In
And you
paper.
eat it, and then that's it. That's a wrap.
Sounds
By
amazing.
the pound, baby.
Well, you are watching a FACEIT product, and what better way to watch than get some FACEIT points as well. You can get loots. You can hook up your FACEIT account by clicking the big orange button beneath us. Make sure you subscribe as well. Hook your FACEIT account up, and you can be eligible for drops that will be happening throughout the day. We've given away millions of points so far this season. We gave away 250k just the other day, didn't we? Very
Absolutely,
exciting
to one
stuff.
person, yeah.
To one person.
Yeah,
That is
it's a
absolutely
badass drop.
epic. You have to be in it to win it. But without further ado, let's have a look at the teams that we'll be playing in the European Division today. Well, in the league in general, it'll be Astralis, Fnatic, NIP, FaZe, Season 4 champions, G2, a distant memory, Season 1 champions, not really looking in contention to be champions going forward, but we'll see them play today, I believe. Mouse Sports, North, Virtus Pro, LDLC, the young upcoming team, and Optic Gaming, who will also be playing today as well. We can have a look at the schedule for today. Here we go. G2, Optic, and FaZe LDLC. Now, the second game doesn't sound that tantalizing, boys, but the first, that's got me hyped. I feel like we might see some fire from G2 today. They've got to be hungry at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got another nuke,
We do have Nuke again.
right? That will be very curious, but this time it's the second map, and they tend to have a better time of things on the second map. Yesterday was a very bizarre game of nuke in that we weren't quite sure what they were trying to achieve on their T side. Maybe today will be different.
I hope so. Dan, G2 have looked very flat in the outings they've had in ECS so far. If you could summarize what's been the problems for them, what would you say it is?
It's been interesting. We've had a different story map to map. Inferno's been the most convincing for GT, where they look like actually a proper team playing the top-level Counter-Strike on that map. But the other maps seems a bit lost in terms of approach and strategy. You know, we saw, seeing Shocks going 0 and 12, not even getting any damage for 12 rounds on a T side.
He had 0 damage. He had 0.0 ADR.
Something's wrong there.
But then he turned it around on the next map and he got like 24 frags.
Yeah, but what about the first map, man?
I know. That's a problem, isn't
Where
it?
you at?
I don't know. This is a massive problem for G2. For anyone who's not aware, they have just changed their roster dramatically. They've brought, I guess it's been about a couple of months now, right? They brought in Smiths, who was the coach for a year, brought him back, Existence, legendary in-game leader, trying to revitalize their squad, but it seems like they're in complete turmoil right now. Rumors going around that Kenny S hasn't signed his new contract, and you can see the team is looking pretty uninspired. They're not looking good mechanically or even tactically at this point. It's difficult to find any positive points about that squad right now, right?
Yeah, again, I fully expect the nuke will be very telling to me. I expect it will be completely different to what we saw yesterday, purely because I feel like they were trying certain things that aren't very obvious to us at home on that game of nuke, because the T side just didn't make sense from what we normally expect of a match. So I think that we should see something else on nuke today.
They played against Mouse Sports, Dan, and famously Chris J was the AWPer there. He was just devouring them every single round. Yugis will be going up against them today, another talented AWPer. Kenny S seems non-existent against these top names. Do we feel like Yugi to be too much for them once again?
I think the thing is with Yugi is that he's going to have more of a system, a structure around him to really play off of. It's going to look tighter than with G2, where G2 does feel a bit disjointed to the degree where if Kenny S is having a performance, it's because he's just created something completely by himself. Whereas Yugi, I feel like he's got a team to play with. So that's like what I mean. Do you disagree on Yugi? We didn't see team play to the degree, like we weren't really seeing usage of smokes or basic utility
that was a problem.
as well.
Chris J would be just beneath heaven in the window room, and people were crossing towards Secret. There was no smokes down, no flashes, just randomly running across one by one. And he got like 23 frags in the first half, I think, just because he was doing amazingly well. It wasn't like it was easy for him. Not many AWPers could do that. But there's too many opportunities where he had multiple frags in front of him. And that was a massive issue, I think, at least. And hopefully we see less of that. I want to see G2 get better. I am a fan of the team. I'm a fan of the squad. The names there speak for themselves. It just seems like something's not quite clicking. Let's talk more about Optic, though, in general. The Danish team currently changing things up as well. Had some names leave and come back in. Right now, they're looking relatively strong and getting good results here, especially on maps like Mirage, where players like Config seem to be finding their confidence once again. Config was in some of the top teams within Denmark, and now Optic seems like it's a bit of an outlier, kind of trying to work their way back up. Do you feel like Optic have what it takes to make it to the playoffs, for example, in this league, in a star-studded lineup like this?
I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance. I don't know if we can have a look at the leaderboard at the moment to see how things are looking, because we should do that. I think at the beginning of the show,
some context,
rather than look at the teams that are in the league, this tells us as well. So let's see.
That's North American.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. No, that's the wrong one. Well, we'll get there.
You tried your best, James. I was thinking that's a little bit too much of an ask on the fly, but maybe we can bring it up. You are right, though. Maybe looking at the leaderboard with me.
Yeah, it's to see the status quo. Here we go. So right now they are 2 for 2. Well, that doesn't make sense. Played 6. 1, 2.
It's all going wrong.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they only played 4 maps, though.
Yeah, let's just assume it's played 4.
Yeah.
Since they've got, I mean, it's super early. They've got 14 more games to play, right? So that you can't take too much out of this apart from Astralis and Mouse Sports. But as far as Optic are concerned, looking at the different names, I feel like NIP are very likely to make it. I think Mouse Sports, Astralis, and NIP we can take as a top 3. So I think number 4 is well open. I don't think anyone's a lock. FaZe have had troubles of late. I mean, name value wise, they should be up there. But
is there any other team apart from Astralis that are looking solid right now in this whole lineup?
I mean,
I'd say Mouse Sports.
They're just about to get knocked out of Star out of 16-2 to big, so they've been made to the playoffs. So that's what I mean. Like they're not secure right now.
I think there are 4. I think there are 4 big names which should make LAN, and then I think 5th and everything else is just wide open. But if they can't get the W's, then I think the 4th place will be up for grabs. But it's hard to say which one of those teams is most vulnerable,
I just feel like CSGO is in such a fascinating point right now. It feels like we don't really have a solid team, but Astralis, someone that's just consistently world-class. Every single game you'll see them play. Very rare to see them give much away or make huge mistakes. You can't really say that from other teams. Like I said, Mouse Sports are over in Kiev right now, battling in the group stages. They lost the first half 13-2 to Big. So they're definitely not stable after their New York victory, for example. They're so up and down with the... yeah, exactly. It doesn't really make any sense. But it's so up and down. It's difficult to be an analyst in CSGO right now, I believe, because every result, every tournament has so many anomalies in there. I don't think anyone can really work out what's going to happen. Speaking of which, we have a massive change in the meta coming up with the update yesterday. We're not going to be using that this week. We'll deploy it next week, I believe.
Yeah.
But that's going to change the game once again. It's going to suit some teams more than it is others, right?
Yeah, I think that's going to make things very interesting. I think for somebody like Existence, that's going to be very stimulating, doing the maths and figuring out the potential common scenarios. I know that Sean Gers and Sponge have been having at it as to what it means and what the most random
quite
round
heated.
is. Yeah, some people think the most random round is a pistol round. Some people think it's the 4-spy round.
This is a controversial opinion. I feel like CS would be better off without the pistol round altogether. I know it's a great thing. It's fun to watch. But if you want just pure, consistent results, I feel like that's the best way to do it. But it's part of Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah, but I feel like it has less impact now.
Yeah.
So that's a positive.
Sure.
I do think that pistols can be the most... I think for me, they're more random than 4-spies. Because if you have a good team, if you look at like Astralis, I hate giving Astralis the example because it's so common, but they are the best team by far. But like they will give the best approach in a 4-spy round. So it doesn't have to be random because it's a 4-spy round. You can, depending on the map as well. But anyway, yeah, I think we'll see some really interesting strats. We can see you could have, for example, like if the T's lose the pistol and don't plant the bomb, right, they get 1900. So if you don't buy in the pistol round, you get 2700. So you could drop an AK. So you might have more hero AKs around at the beginning of a match.
I think change is good. It's gonna give us a lot more to talk about now as casters. Like it's gonna change the way the game is played. We're gonna evolve and keep things interesting. I think changes in meta are good for games most of the time. Like you'll see Dota 2 when they bring a new character in, that can change the whole landscape of the way the game's played in general, right? And I think this will have dramatic effects as well. I want to talk about the changes to the Krieg and the AUG as well. A lot of players are tweeting saying they're interested now in using that weapon full time. Device, I think, was a slightly facetious tweet, but he did say as a scope player he's looking forward to using the AUG and Krieg as a full-time sort of role.
That's part of why I like using the Krieg, I gotta say, because as someone who uses scopes and so on, like when you're scoped in, the model is bigger, so it's kind of easier to just go for a quick one tap and flick them straight in the face as well. Like that's why I like to use it on Mirage and just one tap people in the window.
Dan, do you feel like we're going to see those weapons more now? Now they're actually in line with the AK and the M4. Do you feel like they can come into the actual forefront of gameplay?
I don't think it's going to be crazy. I don't think there's an enormous... Personally, I don't think there's an enormous advantage. I think that it's going to feel a little bit...
Well, if you think about it, the AUG has the potential for one-tap kills at close range. So there definitely is some conversation to be had when it comes to using the weapon.
I think that's like more of a big deal than the scope, to be honest, because I think the scope is pretty relevant for a lot of people because of the kind of ranges that you'd be using a gun anyway. Because it's like just because someone's zoomed in a lot more doesn't necessarily mean that they're easier to hit. Like your crosshair placement based on different understanding of different scenarios and different ways certain spots will be peaked.
I think it's very situational. I think if you play, let's say you play ramp room on Nuke, for example, as CT, having that tight angle where you look right into towards the trophy room. If you just have a scope there and you're trying to just find a couple of taps and take down an AUG, for example, you're going to have not necessarily an advantage. You might feel more comfortable to hold that position with a bit more zoom, be able to click on the head really easy. But that's neither here nor there because we're not going to have that patch today. But
for me, the question about the AUG is, if I'm in a situation where I need to kill 2 people, am I going to have... I don't mean a spray transfer, but just like the spray of the AUG I think is worse than the M4A4. I think that is a question to be... Well, I can just continue. This is almost over already. 5 people going up and on, although Existence has something to say about it. Very quickly down that mid position. Oh, Smiths, that's a great... I was going to ask a question. Can he get the one tap? And he can. Delaying now, but it'll just be the one for Smiths.
There it is. It will be the 3 versus 2 Optic with control right now, but here comes Existence looking for the double tap towards the banana area. No plant just yet, and Kenny S will be patrolling coffins, but not for long. He's stuffed into one, as Existence will now try to go for the retake. Gets 1 kill, decent attempt by him, with 3 kills in total, but it will be Optic without the plant, coming out on top with just the frags there. As we get into the next round, it was a pretty simple procedure towards banana. Config opening things up, the CT fought back valiantly, but overall, Snappy closing things out with Config. And there's the final frag. 1-0 Optic. G2, another disappointing start. They have got to be one of the worst teams in terms of pistol results. They historically have done so badly in the big rounds and the big events when it comes to winning pistols. But this one is no different. That's a good shot, though. Existence. Boosted up, takes down Snappy.
Very nice indeed. See if they can capitalize on it, though. They are 5 versus 4. It's still going to be difficult. Optic are pretty drilled. I think Snappy is a pretty darn good in-game leader. He's heralded to be definitely one of the better ones. Part of the sort of 3 most famous IGLs from Denmark. Keeping company with Glaive and MSL. And you can see the Optic will just say, okay, you got the kill. We're just going to, take our nades, throw them into the B-bomb site.
No Carrigan in that statement, Dan?
Oh, Carrigan as well. Bloody hell.
Most famous.
Apologies.
Definitely, top 2.
Apologies. I think sometimes I forget that Carrigan's Danish,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's alright.
It's not part of those Danish, pure Danish squads. But yeah, I apologize to Carrigan.
It's okay.
One quick point about the economy thing, as this does look like a wrap here for G2. With the new update, I agree with James that it's potentially much more interesting because you get more play, but you get more Counter-Strike because you get more options to do stuff because you have more money earlier on. And also I think that because of that, it's just inherently going to lessen the variance because a pistol round win is just so impactful, and it's literally a coin flip. If you look at the statistics, it's literally a coin flip.
Literally.
Yeah,
loosely though.
It's a coin flip. If you look at the stats, it's like 50-55% for every team.
Well, there we go. 2-0 G2, presumably on the eco now. Can't really do much with this round. They have got Deagles again, though. That's Smith's, Existence, and Shoxy. And we've got 1 smoke available. They got the opening pick last time. I'm not sure that'll be gifted in round number 3 here. We'll see. As Optic slow things down, wait for the aggression from the CTs. Should be the 3-0 pretty convincingly here. On the map, well, Config's looking to do some damage. 3 kills with him so far, make it 4. Nice quick headshot. And that's the advantage now for the T side.
I'm also interested in the changes to the CZ. I've actually gone back to the 5.7 on the CT side because at longer ranges the CZ is significantly worse. The spread of the spray has been nerfed to encourage things like tapping and bursting.
Well, that's exactly what they did to the 5.7 as well. That's the exact same change that was made because you could spam the 5.7 back in the day, and they slowed it right down, so you have to focus more on the tapping now.
Yeah, so I keep the CZ on the T side though, because I feel like if I'm on an eco, I'm more likely to be just whizzing around the corner and trying to go for some close engagement. Exactly, yeah. But on the CT side, there's going to be more varied ranges for my particular style of play. So we'll come back to the 5.7. The Tech 9 though, I haven't really looked at that yet. So
I bet it will make a comeback.
Slow Squadron made a post. His posts of weapon changes are fantastic actually. They're very, very informative. And he has a great spreadsheet with pretty much all the statistics, which is my Bible.
Is it publicly available?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. The link is in his Reddit thing. Definitely worth a look. So when you want to look at, nerd out on moving inaccuracy and MP9 the stats, that's the place to go.
Well, you had it here first. Well, 4 players survive for Optic. Just Shoxy looking for a strong performance here today. G2 have struggled, to say the least, in ECS so far. Down he goes, and will be Snappy to keep things very clean indeed. Now then, G2 will have the option for the AWP, almost certainly going to bring that out on the CT side. Kenny would be glass cannon. Does he want to go for it? 0 and 3 so far. Last minute decision, got to purchase it. 1 smoke, the AWP makes him very vulnerable to that MP5. And this is quite common. Optic looking like they'll be doing a set piece right off the bat here. All 5 players heading towards second middle, suggests something quite quick as well. If they can find Kenny and shut him down early, that would be fantastic as he looks to find a pick towards second middle. He's going to have contact here. They're all whizzing past him now, and he'll hit the first shot, but is he out of danger just yet?
This is really awkward. Straight on the bomb side, CT's all over the place. Kenny has behind them in the apartments. They don't seem to really realize. They must know, though. They get a kill recently from Boiler, and that's Nico with the frag. That's a really crucial one. And we didn't do predictions, but I was going for Optic on both maps.
Oh, yeah? When you got the 4-0, that's when you're going in?
Pretty convincingly, I think.
You remember to do your prediction when the 4-0 up on T side?
I had to get in at some point, and I was like, well.
I think what we've seen from G2 right now, you'd be mad not to pick Optic.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is looking like a very convincing gun round. Shoxy, though, with really nice movement, and the flashbang deployment is absolutely stellar. He might have a chance for a double kill here. Not quite. Down to Body, who will be shut down. Like we said, it's quite common for T-side to do something very quick on the first gun round, knowing the CT's force bought. In the second, they don't necessarily have the incendiaries to slow you right down. Nico takes down the AWP of Kenny S, which is looking poised to find a couple of kills, perhaps. But Nico closes out the round in style. 4-0 Optic. And another eco for G2 on the CT side. Not going so well so far, but these are the sort of rounds that normally seem to work out in CSGO. Just when it looks like you're desperate, the Deagle headshots will start connecting.
Nothing to hold Optic back beyond the one smoke of existence. Apart from the guns, of course. The Desert Eagles. Low on the frags. Well, actually, I say that. The money's not... Well, the money will be out of control for Optic after this round, for sure. First player taken out. Optic being very careful indeed. So that is the one deterrent smoke from the CT side. Again, if you look on some CT demos, you'll see how to smoke the top of banana from CT of B consistently, which is important for retakes as well. Good smokes to know. Will Optic send multiple players around Arch? Some NA teams used to do this way back when. They'd go like, they just walk with 5 people around the Arch position. Take care of the pit afterwards. Oh, hello, Smiths.
Very nice. Wrap comes in though. It's hard to stop this. Really difficult to stop this. It's a good position, but he'll get taken out. So it should be all over now. 5-0 for Optic. I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't G2 win one, if not both, pistols on Inferno yesterday?
I can't remember. We had a lot of Counter-Strike yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. But it's definitely the worst case scenario if you lose that pistol on the CT side. It's brutal on the Inferno.
Yeah, and especially if you lose the first gun round to follow it up.
Yeah.
Can spiral out of control. It's definitely an argument to be made in best of ones. The 4-spy shouldn't really be as powerful in terms of, you see it every single round. In terms of the second after losing the pistol, I felt like teams should just get Deagles, no armor, and focus on having full buys just to avoid this sort of situation. Obviously, it doesn't guarantee success, but means you have a lot more to work with in the first gun round, which I think is more sustainable than trying to win out the second. Body will barrel in here and get nothing for it, just gives up his life. And yeah, Deagle to give away though. 5-0. And Optic now, with this momentum and the wind in their sails, they can continue fast-paced Counter-Strike and not allow G2 to really get warmed up. They can just continue to apply the pressure, but the AWP of Yugi will come out for the first time, and Kenny S this time with AWP and armor, so a little bit stronger. They've got kits, they've got all the utility they need, maximum loss bonus coming in. Yugi sits in the T-steps waiting for aggressive approach from Kenny. Kenny definitely in a bit of a slump right now, I would say. Haven't seen the best of him. Definitely regarded as one of the greatest Counter-Strike AWPers of all time. Looking for form now. Existence with a bit of an off angle there to avoid the pre-fire.
Can we look at Body quickly? Okay, I just wanted to see line up for the grenade.
Just not getting that ready for yourself.
You're damn right.
Yeah. So second oranges, James, on the in between the post there. Bang, right on the barrels. Bit of a jump throw as well.
Nice. Obviously invisible ceiling. It's cool how you can program different walls and ceilings for guns, grenades, people.
Yeah, so you can throw grenades there, but you couldn't boost 2 players up and look over, for example.
Yeah. I missed the skywalking from 1.6.
That was fun.
Yeah.
CT spawn and dust.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, they boost up on that box. Yeah, I remember
Yes.
that. Yeah, the back of CT spawn, yeah.
There we
That's
go.
one way to take apps.
Smoke down, flash through. Shoxy with the first kill, but still, there's only 2 CTs defending against 4. This could be a little bit deadly, but the first kill towards this side of the map will go in favor of G2, 5 versus 3. Oh, they did a great job now. This is much better as it looks to find a clean sweep. Nico comes through as well, and just Yugi, 5 versus 1. 15 seconds remain. Nothing he can really do with this one apart from save the AWP, try and take down ensuing counter-terrorists.
7 seconds. Now, how much do G2 want to hunt? Well, they'll only lose 1 player. That's fine for them. They'll pick up the second AWP as well. Who will it go to? Body, not even Smiths. Smiths is on Skadiddle duty. No sniper for you. Right then. That's the first round on the board for G2. They survive in the numbers. And opportunity awaits, although they'll need to have a strong ramp here as well to take out the likes of Optic and their money. Kenny will continue to hold his aggressive angle. Always nice to see Kenny with an aggressive angle. You can see there's a Molotov at the bottom of mid to control the T's to help cover. And as that disappears, the CTs will retreat.
Well then, Body, now the AWP, completely wrecked by the brutal aim of Config. Really is a superstar, that AK-47. Likes to find control, uses gut instincts to find opening picks, and he's not scared to do it at all. Existence now trying to pick up the pieces, but Kenny S rotates through first. He'll take down Config, and looking for a second frag as he plays outside the smoke.
Config going for the low warning. Oh, Yugi, nice. Must have been blind there. So, obviously you can smoke CT from further back, but some teams start to do it faster by showing and doing one, so there's less reaction time from the CTs. Great transfer from Shox, big gamble from Optic, but they've still got a 2 versus 2. The bomb's been rescued now, and it's all time to go towards B, so the CTs will be split either side. In fact, Existence has chosen to look down on it at the very least, but Smith has got a lot to do here. Not checking the site cage in B, running with the bomb in his hands. Schoolboy error from him. Now Yugi's got to clutch it, and he just might. 29 seconds, Existence in CT.
This is everything now. Existence of no nades, but he has got the kit. Yugi, 2 flashbangs. That smoke's got about 5 more seconds left on it, so he'll try and use that to his best advantage. But this is a good angle. He's just playing for the straight-up heads-up duel. Has the advantage in terms of, obviously, Existence won't have the intel. He's in the corner. We'll assume he's probably in the pits as he comes in slowly. Looks like Existence has his number, but no. Yugi will find the reset, boys. And then though they got a full 5-man clean streak before, I think they'll still be struggling, and indeed they will be. Here's Yugi, like he said, partially blind. Kenny has taken down Shoxy. He does not deserve to be on the losing team right now. He's playing out of his mind as Yugi wins out in the 2 versus 1. And this play was pretty sensational. You can see the awareness from Existence, but obviously not going to know the exact angle. And it's another eco, 6-1. Optic running away with it on the T side now.
Yeah, it's looking really good. Engaging B on the Mac 10. Optic can make a quick one out of this. Use him to take the first engagements, run around corners, create space for the AKs to move behind it. And you can see sort of just this crossfire between Arch and Quad there. Slowly but surely moving up. The Stagger is of course also a bomb site, but they have absolutely nothing. So easy cleanup. Tapping at the Mac 10. That's the 7-1 about to be in the books as Existence rotates in. And indeed, this is a really good start from Optic. Pretty much everything just going exactly as planned. G2 will have the ability to buy next round though. I don't know if we'll see more than 1 AWP, but...
Well, his Body on the secondary AWP. That was an interesting one. It was always Smiths. Sorry, it was always Shoxy and Kenny S, and obviously Smiths was the full-time AWPer for G2 about 1.5 years ago. Seems like they're all over the place right now. But 7-1 guaranteed. Existence holding towards the B side of the map. Things not getting any better for them today so far, boys.
Ooh, I think Kenny S will have precisely 4750, so does he do it? Does he get in there? Glass cannon AWP. What do you think, James?
I think he does.
I mean, Shox could drop in one, and he could drop an M4. That'd probably be better, I guess, but...
He'll get it.
Yeah, he's no stranger to being naked with AWP.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Had enough. They've got a shotgun for Smith, so FAMAS for body. Kenny without the AWP. It's really not looking good.
The Shocks could have dropped the AWP for Kenny.
Oh, hindsight.
In 6K.
Oh, they're going for the push through as well. Existence, you are brave, my friend. He gets the frag. Config. This time, not finding the head. Bit of damage inflicted, but will the trade come through? Absolutely not. Existence actually doing a great job there. Surely this is their round now. Snappy trying to pick up the pieces. The in-game leader for Optic. Does tag up body somewhat. Epic recovery mission now for Optic.
Body knows he does not need to fight to the death in that engagement. Sees the player there. Limits the risk. They have a 5 versus 3. They can sit on that. Especially with Smiths on a mag 7, you don't want to be losing a man if you don't need to. Because if he has to rotate, he's going to have giant range problems. AK is at the bottom of mid though, so if it comes to it and he goes that way, maybe he finds himself an upgrade. 55 seconds now. CT's light on grenades. Body and Existence, in fact, have 0 grenades. No counter flashes, no mollies for pull, no counter smokes, absolutely nothing. And G2 are far from a rotation. Existence running into the flames, unfortunately for him. Bad timing on his part. Body going for some bursts, and that is a bomb site. Very, very lost now.
No.
Smiths is going down mid, so at least we'll get an AK.
This is not looking good, is it? This is a 5-on-3. All of a sudden, it's turned on its head. There is a kit available, but now the advantage sits with Optic for sure. Good positioning from Snappy. This pillar can be so strong, difficult to pre-fire. Bomb ticking away over the halfway point now. Yugi flash, but he'll recover in time, but surely not before Smiths will take him down. He'll be the last player remaining. Time ticking away. He does not have the kit. He'll have to recover that in CT spawn. I think this is another round going in favor of Optic. Dan, that was a 5 versus 3. That's going to be one of those gutting rounds you can give away.
You can't really afford to do it at this point as well. Already getting way too behind. So Optic just more of a lock-in for this. Maybe, well, you can't ever say win just yet, but it's becoming more and more likely at this point.
They just can't get anything going in their favor. Existence, not even your star player, finds opening frags there, cleanly gets a 5-on-3, and still it falls apart. You gotta feel like this one's over at 8-1 down on the T side. You've got another eco. G2 just can't get rolling in these games, can they?
Seems to be saving the orb this round, but the aggression there from Shocks will be caught. Yeah, it's really difficult for them. Inferno is really hard to play. You can get into this slippery slope as a CT side when your economy is always a bit weak, where you just don't quite have enough utility to match the Ts, so you can't really take away portions of the map, because if you try to, you get a massive utility disadvantage very early in the rounds, and then it's a massive advantage for the Ts. And so then you play passively, and then you just give up too much space to the Ts. It's just like there's no good answer sometimes.
Well, there was 2 kills from Smiths, but that was on the A side of the map. It would be the cue for Optic to attack the B-bomb site. And now Smiths and Body Money will save their AKs here. I don't see a wild would they come out on top. Eddie will be feeling it though. He's got 2 kills to his name, but just looking for exit at this point. Can't really force the issue any further than he already has been. And there we go. 9-1 on the T side of Inferno. I just don't know how many more weeks I can big up the G2 side saying they're going to turn up today, boys. It just seems like this happens every game. They'll go down in a significant manner and just look irreparable. And then they maybe have a closer game on the second map.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that Inferno is I think the only map which I've seen them play like pretty decently on, but it did also require, what, a 30 bomb from Shocks. So, of course, that's whenever you have a team with Shocks on, I mean, you're kind of expecting that he's going to be doing stuff like that, but you can't rely on it. That's kind of the point.
Well, that's the only positive factor you can really talk about when it comes to G2 right now, is they've got Shocks who's in great form. He looks like he can be dangerous in every single game, but we say that, and he's only got 4 kills then. So,
yeah.
Like, he had that one good moment towards middle, but apart from that, Existence is the top fragger with Smiths. That's actually really bad news. If those 2 at the top of the scoreboard, sure, you're like, well, at least they're not bottom, but at the same time, means your superstars aren't actually doing much at all.
Yeah, Kenny on 2.
Yeah,
it's definitely a big problem. He's had some AWPs, and in this round he does again. And there we go. Kill number 3. And he's got a potential for a lot more. This is the close shot. How much more will he get? Very nice. That does take down Nico. And Shox is doing his best work there towards that pit position with the double. And the Shox and Kenny's combo will stop the very fast push through quads. Didn't look super smooth, but they make it work.
That's the kind of scenario where Kenya's is in his element. He gets that second shot most of the time as well, so that is that is sometimes where you'll get the most out of him. And again, there are still 4 rounds to fight for here, so G2 can still have a reasonable half. Well equipped now after that exchange, and the pace will change. Kenya's rotating away from the B-bomb site. Oh! Grenade's gone the wrong way. Still, Molotovs continue on Banana as we pass the minute 30 mark and Optic start to move in with 2 players, or more in fact, just to establish control. And a third player has come back to B for the CTs.
Oh, denied.
Ruzel. At least the trade comes in from body here. This is looking quite good for G2 now. Maybe not so much for Existence. They might not preempt his position. Fall back here. Another advantage and looking for a reset once again. Optic head back towards A. Just one player there. That's going to be Smiths. Top fragger so far. Holding towards quad. 50 seconds remain. Essentially a 4-on-1 on the A side. Is he just joining them a B to make a bit of a gamble here? He sits in the library, essentially giving the bomb site up. He knows it to rotate here. Surely he can't let him come up quad in apartments. He comes back in towards Graveyard potentially. The smokes are down. He runs towards the pit. Now this is an audacious play and one that will be punished. Existence, last chance to pick up the pieces. What a great spot from Nico. Jumps up and that smoke's by design. He has that option to him. He knows it. And it's a bit of a one-way. Takes down the penultimate player and Kenny S on the other side of the map. It's another reset, boys. Complete reset as well. You can see they are. To be fair, if they save the orb, they lose 5,600 on body. It's just the other 2 players existing. The Shox that are struggling. Smiths could probably buy. But Kenny has to save this weapon to really have a fighting chance next round. Just to reiterate for the viewers, if you're just joining us, this is still the old patch. We'll be using the newer one next week.
Not the reset they wanted.
No. It's not as devastating as I thought. So, there's that.
As long as he can hold on to this. Which looks likely now. Everyone is very far away indeed. And the Optic money is low enough where they don't want to run into the Kenny meat grinder.
It's more of a sausage maker right now with the 6 kills. Needs to find more of those high impact rounds. Nico, this was the play that won the round. That's pretty excellent. Using the smokes to his advantage. Shox at the Famas. See, it's not too bad, all things considered. The orb definitely helping them out. Mac 10 for Snappy. He's got 4 players without helmets, so perfect decision to bring that weapon out. Lots of mobility, lots of damage available considering that fact. And the CTs are challenging for banana control with 3 players there.
The T's should know what these Molotovs mean. And they should be careful in that second mid position. Cajun be creeping up through apps at the moment. That's a very deep grenade. Telling of aggression. Maybe we'll see a slow round from Optic in response.
Buddy on the half wall. Quite a common position these days. Someone to be standing there. And we flashed away. Responsibility from Optic. A single flashbang can make all the difference. And now Buddy will get some assistance in Existence as he rotates. He's got that, well, only 33 points of health. So not the best situation on that B-bomb site. We'll see if they can do it. Only rifles, no AWP, and a set piece about to hit them, it would look like. Occasionally lurking towards second mids. Here comes the play though, Optic looking strong going in. Ooh, but they're actually going to go for a fake, it would appear.
Back they go. Molotoving towards new boxes just before they leave as well. Suggests that is going to be a heavy B commitment. It certainly convinces Kenny. Smith's over a decent incendiary to buy a little bit of time for the rotation to come back for. But it's Cajun be opening things up. 2 times now, Kenny S has to pull back for his smoke. Surely he's absolutely done for. There's that Mac 10. Oh my goodness, boys, this is getting disastrous now. Great calls from Optic, you can't deny that. That was beautiful. The fact there was such a convincing fake, he pulled Kenny away for what, 7-8 seconds. It was enough for them to just kind of isolate the A players at that point. Cajun B with some great entries towards the site. Great counter-strike from them, but G2, this is just getting out of control now on their CT side. They've got 2 rounds to their name. The reset has already come in, and at this point they'll be fully broken. Even with the 2 Stadium 4s, they can't really justify a force buy, but I guess with so many rounds against, they might have to. They need the 11-4. Can't really let it go 12-3.
G2 are trying to take the game to Optic as well. They're trying to be aggressive multiple times now. We've seen those Molotovs to control the bottom of mid, and they've had the sniper looking through to second mid. But I mean, I don't know if they're telegraphing the play with the Molotov and the second Molotov even in that particular round, so the T's don't really move up second mid. They know what they're trying to do, so that the early aggression doesn't work out for G2. And then let's not forget that round where they got those 2 early kills, but then they had 0 grenades, nothing to slow players down, and they stopped looking for info. Optic took the B bomb site, and that was that. 11-2 for Optic. 2 M4s and a few pistols for G2, so they won't be fully invested in this round.
Certainly not. Another one-sided affair here in the first half. PD50 for Shocks and Smith says, look at the stealth of Optic here, all the way up towards Arch. Nice basic smokes to give them positional control here. Molotov towards Pit, just to eradicate some risks, as Cajun B has been doing a fantastic job from this position. He'll continue that good work. Nico takes the kill, and it will be a second for Cajun, and the third comes in as well. 4 versus 1 existence with the M4A1S. 12-2.
Ouch. It's hard, isn't it, to really know where to start when it comes to G2.
Yeah, it's
when it comes to sort of trying to like break down, you know, the struggles and what they would need to like. Okay, what about this? Try this. This is an issue.
It's just such a shame, isn't it? Is to see that this is not an anomaly now. This is every map we're watching at G2. It's like this.
Yeah, and Optic are definitely very good, and one of the more exciting teams to watch. But they're not in Astralis necessarily.
No,
so
far from it.
So it's definitely quite worrying that you can't find a hole or something like that against Optic if you're G2. So we'll see if they can at least get the third rounds, the last round of the first half, to help them recover in some regards. So far we haven't had much to give us confidence. Quick boost onto the quad roof there.
Final round. Last chance.
Take off Banana. Will they go behind? Will they push behind this? Well, there's a Molotov from the T's as well. So perhaps their chance has been compromised. I'm putting the flash config, but he's asking a lot with the 180, then the 360 on top of the wall. And Optic will be warded away for now. 5 versus 4 for G2. 3 smokes in the hole for the CT side. Looks like one will just be deployed, indeed it will. Double short play. And 1 long. They'll have faith that Optic will fear the pit. Jumping in now. There is Smiths and Kenny together to take Nico out. KGB has a lot of info, but they don't have the personnel.
Oh, he actually dinged him for the wall there, did he? Either way, this is sick as Yugi goes for the quick scope. It's now an advantage for G2, but that's quickly taken away. Looking for the 13-2 half. Snappy will plant the bomb. Body in existence with barely any utility on the retake once again as they come in together, both from the Arch side. Snappy just toying with them right now, using the boxes to find damage, but it will be Cajun B left in a 2-on-1.
Ooh, it's tough.
We saw him.
He's got things there, yeah, he knows now. It's easy for Cajun B. Ooh, existence though makes it work. Cajun B taking the fight again straight away, re-peeking. And existence will be able to secure that last and final round of the first half for G2. That's 3 for them, 12 for Optic. Still a very, very horrible situation to play from, and the pistol is an absolute must.
As we always say, pistol required. You can see the fragging distribution on both teams very equal. Not too many on the board for G2. Shoxy on 7, Kenny S, same story. As we look at the buys, 3 sets of arm on the T side so far. PT50 for Smiths, giving that one tap potential. One smoke, one flash. Suggest they'll probably go towards the A side of the map. Probably run a default to begin with. PT50 looking to cause some damage here as they head towards middle. Smokes missed. Oh my god, what is going on here, boys? They've got smoke on the roof, middle.
I don't think I've seen it before.
How have you managed that?
I like it.
Well, they'll probably still win the round, but still. Absolute calamity. And we'll just be fragging, going in their favour though. 3 versus 2. Can't afford to give this one up.
Config in Yugi. I don't want to let G2 back into this. Footsteps heard Tom mid. Config having a look. A lot of harassment from the Glock in existence. Has a follow-up, but still, Smiths will steal the frag. And now it is Yugi. Position unknown, I would assume. Shocks, no, existence was just waiting in case there was a late lurk. Top mid just about misses him. One being collected now, got a 1v1 and another one. Close, but not quite. G2 in a much needed pistol round. Existence smart enough to try and go for that bonus plant money, but not quite reaching it.
Yeah, extra 300 bucks planting the bomb regardless the round is over. 4 spy coming through from Optic. I don't think they'll fully invest, surely. Yeah, 3 players keeping their money relatively modest. For Occasion B invest quite heavily. There'll be a smoke, an HE, CZ, Deagles, of course, 5-7 for Nico. As Config positions himself towards B.
Wins. Well, Snappy in a good position as well. Oh, you thought that would be guaranteed. Smoke is dropped in time. Cajun B is just very brave, just standing in the middle, just wiggling around.
Extremely brave. Oh no! 1 bullet away. Really unfortunate not to find a kill in existence there. It looks like the round might be saved at this point, but still. Optic are in the conversation. That's most powerful. Nico hoping he can find a kill through the smoke. Almost did. So this one might be safe now.
They can do a lot more damage here. I'm sure they're not entertaining the ability to win the round, but they can really make it hurt. You can see both players just shutting off both choke points if they want to escape from the bomb blast. G2, oh my goodness. If he gets that kill, he probably gets the second one as well. Very weak existence, but not quite for Optic. 5 to 12, I should say, as G2 convert the next round. Was scary though. Nothing left for Optic here.
Yeah, just Nico. G2 back in the game.
Nico got a taser. I hear you like. I hear you like those.
Love it.
Big fan, Henry.
Speaking of big, they just knocked out Mouse Sports, the star ladder.
Yeah.
So they're back. Mouse Sports up and down. But for now, fully go. There will be just USPs available. Nico with the Zeus. Don't think we'll be seeing much here. But smokes regardless. Maybe just waiting to see if that provokes some sort of reaction before they go in.
Come, give it to me. I want to hear that sound. That girly scream.
Oh, come on. Get it. Oh, we got one.
Oh no! Oh.
It was close.
Yeah. Not close enough. Well, 2 kills, not too bad from Optic. Don't think Snappy really cares to save the Mag 10 though.
If we can get a kill with it, that's $600. So definitely get a fight for one. Game continues. G2. Slightly more promising now. 12-3 in the first half.
Pfeiffer's a cool last name, isn't it?
Pfeiffer.
Makes you think of Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's the only Pfeiffer I know.
Yeah.
It's a bloody good name. Pfeiffer. My name was James Pfeiffer. I'd have a turtleneck jumper. I'd have a jewelry store. No, I'm speaking a fake French accent.
I like that guy on John Oliver who's like had the fake British.
Oh yeah. Oh, like Beverly Hills Cop. Who's that guy? Serge. Remember Serge?
I haven't seen that film in about
It's been a while.
15 years.
Serge. 12-6, Optic with double the score of their opponent. Now it's G2's turn to enjoy the AKs. And I'm interested to see what kind of aggressive approach Optic will have to take the game away from G2 to stop them from being able to execute their game. Existence teams sometimes need a little space to set up on their T side, so if you're able to take that away, that can cause colossal problems.
Top mid take coming in from G2. And that'll force some of the CTs back onto the bomb site, which is okay. Because Optic still have 2 players on Banana. And G2 look like they'll go for a retake of Banana, so this could be quite decisive. We'll see how effective it is. One player committed deep there. Snappy's being shown as well. That Mac-10 is not going to do too much. He does get 1 frag, but the question is whether or not Config can get some assistance in time. You can see he's going towards CT, playing more of a retake. Thinking about going for the boost maybe with Cajun B, but Cajun B instead holding a flash for his teammate. This is very dodgy now for Optic. They've got to be careful. G2 looking strong into the B-bomb site.
Looks like the execution will come forth. And we'll see Config flashing in teammates. Well, Config being flashed in. Doesn't get anything for it. A little bit of damage, but fully wrecked by the flashes coming through. Cajun B will have to fire speculatively through the smoke. And gets nothing for it. It's looking good for G2 now in the 4-on-3 as the bomb gets planted.
Down it goes, default spots. Optic with that smoke down will cut their losses and get out of there. Now on the opposite half we saw a lot of, on G2 CT side, we saw a lot of aggressive attempts to make something happen in a bad situation. But Optic have the luxury of the lead and they will play it conservatively. Hold on to what they have, buy around these 3 weapons. They know they have been outmaneuvered, and they will fall back to fight from a new position.
One goes off, 3 players survive indeed. G2, 4-0 on the second half. CT half was a struggle for them, but this is looking very good. Double AWP set up now. Snappy will pull out the second. Config might be down to a shotgun. We'll see. MP5. We'll go for the auto shotty today. Well then, Mac-10 for Smiths. Again, 3 players of our helmet, so definitely a viable weapon, a wise one. Need to play a little bit looser. Be a nuisance.
Snappy flashed in on Banana for the peek. He sees nothing. And that does allow them to rotate Config to help out the A defense. Looks like he'll get there in time as well. Yugi watching over towards Portugal Quad, gets himself the pick off. Oh, sees the next one. Doesn't stop running though when he takes the shot, but it will be a warning shot perhaps, and that will send G2 all the way back into Snappy's clutches with the AWP. Doesn't really feel like there's a good answer here for G2, and you can see that Optic are rotating with this. They're going to have a pretty solid defense on that B-bomb side. There is no good opportunity for G2 here.
Four versus 2 on the B-bomb site. Molotovs are down. Existence will be leading the charge, I think. Here they come eventually. Snappy holding an angle around the flames, but too close. Config now, what can he do? Smith holding an angle to pre-fire it seems, or looking towards the dark spot. He'll get taken out. Config traded now. 3 on 3 as the CT start to move in. Nico's still only now rotating from the A bomb site though.
Nice set piece from G2, that's for sure. Those Molotovs really nailing the most important defenders. The guy with the AWP, Snappy. And with body low on HP, not something that G2 necessarily can account for, but they, or rather Optic, but they can definitely do this. Nice timing on the peek from body though. Important 1v1 lost by Cage, and I don't know if there's an opportunity now, and absolutely not. It will be shut down by existence. G2 with a nice recovery off the back of a, once again, you know, a well set up set piece onto the B bomb site. Sometimes it's the simple things that work the best.
5-0 now. G2 starting to run away with it. They'll have the Mac 10s once again. Smiths and Body more than happy to pick those cheaper weapons up. Optic yet to post around in the second half here. This is a bit of a G2 calling card though. Get battered in the first half, bring it back quite close, then give the game up. We'll see if they can actually maybe see this one through.
G2 make it past the Molotov bottom mids. Do they think they're free towards B? Do they think there's a chance? Well, that's not an ideal range to fight with the Mac 10. Cage should be one of the few with a helmet. And that will be the difference maker in that round. The timing of the grenade, just in case. There is a grenade in response. Now, Shock's creeping through CT on his own with the bomb. And that is a colossal issue. How do you get this back? Smoked off now, Kenny S, and this is going to waste a lot of time. It's going to compromise where G2 can make inroads in the meantime. Flash towards the pit. Will there be a peek though? I'm sure there will be eventually. Ooh, now the CTs have the information. The cage and B is being taken now. In the meantime, Config still holding the bomb down in CT spawn. And now G2 are losing personnel.
Ooh, that's so awkward. Mac 10 does the job, but the bomb is still in CT spawn as mentioned, and Body's going to make his way across. He's picked up an AWP as well. Definitely a dab hand with it, but this is going to be awkward. 30 seconds to go. Time is a massive issue. He can only walk for so long in the attempt to do this one. And there's so many spots to check. You can't imagine that he has the luxury of to check them all. And he goes now making noise all over the place, and he makes it work. Config, not quick enough. 15 seconds. Does he have time to actually make to the bomb site and plant here? Just maybe enough, but yeah, there's no rotation to stop this. He only needs 3.5 seconds to plant, so he is going to have about a second and a half to spare.
That's so sick. Lovely. That shot was beautiful as now Snappy up against it. Presumably it goes down straight away. He does get winged, but will Body convert the kill? Pulls up the Glock now, knowing that Snappy's got to be incredibly low. One shot from the Glock could do it. We'll see. He'll hold up now, bomb away, and there it is. A little dink, great stuff from Body, 2 versus 1. Gets the bomb, sneaks all the way through after a great shot at CT spawn. Plants with a second to spare. There we have it. Kick things off with a Mac 10 frag. Keeps the dream alive. This is what secured the round as he took down Config.
Search and rescue from Body. Pulling G2 out of the water. Let's put Optic on Eco. Looks like they did win enough rounds on their CT half.
Yes.
0 CT rounds won by Optic so far. And it's G2 with the timeout.
I feel worried for GT though. As soon as Optic win rounds, whether or not GT can keep the success coming in. Very much sort of like playing out that momentum right now, looking really good from that perspective. Got Optic on that back foot. And appears that T side is much more potent for them. To be fair though, both teams you would likely associate with strong T sides. And we can't also count out the ability for Optic to make some uncomfortable situations out of this round. Beagles and CZs in play. The creep from Yugi just weaving past those grenades. Can't quite find the kill though. 10 HP for existence. Has he done enough though? Maybe. Config gets a headshot himself. And there's more weak players now for Optic to try to kill. But they are running out of players too.
Config and Snappy remain. These T's are heavily tagged. A CZ could go a hell of a long way right now. Or nowhere at all. Config. Where on earth is he? Bottom of banana. Oh, he's picked up an AWP. Lucky for him.
Not bad, is it? Half might be going well, but he's gets an AWP for next, but that's if he survives. I don't know where he is. Players heading towards CT spawn 2. I think he'll survive, no problem, but we'll see.
Definitely problem. But how much of a problem? Oh!
Well, Shoxy will take him down, recover the AWP. Things getting kind of bleak now. That classic 12-3 scoreline seems so comfortable, especially on the T side of Inferno. You'd think that'd be a lock-in, but no. G2 got themselves right back into it. Stabilizing though, full buy for Optic.
Big rounds.
Still in the hands of Body. It's still so deadly. It's 2 players by helmet still.
If Optic lose this one, it would be 12-12 for sure. Or as close to a sure thing as you can have in CS, but we'll take this one first against the full buy of Optic. Not being too crazy with the banana pressure, but they are pressuring it and looking to make things difficult here for GT to be able to take that banana position. You see the jump peeking coming in now around the half wall. Yes, always ready for the flick shots, and they will actually push back in. And now it's very dangerous for Optic. Can they somehow stave off this push? So just barely getting into cover in time. Very, very scary stuff indeed, but Yugi gets one. Is there a trade? No, absolutely not, and that is massive for G2.
How the hell did that grenade bounce backwards off that wall? It could have killed the player behind the sandbags. That's so weird. Anyway, Snappy moving down the mid position. Do you believe there's a player on the crawl space? Surprise! Yep. No jack in the box for you.
Oh god, this is getting pretty desperate now. KGB at least finds a kill. 35 seconds. They're going to run back towards B. I don't think there's any CT presence there at all. So, yes, indeed, they'll have pretty much the round guaranteed at this point. Plan now, CTs don't really have the option to try and retake. Deep smoke, yes. So sick, isn't it?
I love that control. Smoke. That's the best smoke.
Yeah, CTs can't even think about pushing past that. Choke points is way too tight. But why not double down?
The GG smoke. Well then, Optic still looking for their first round in this half.
Oh dear. Deary, deary me.
Seen many a lopsided half this season. And it's always interesting. I think there are 2 schools of thought. Like when you see a 12-3 half, it's like, oh my god, they choked. They didn't manage to do it. But sometimes I do wonder if they suffer the same problems as the team in the other half. So difficult to measure what is going on. Well, maximum loss bonus is a thing at the very least. Look at this grenade, look. What is going on there? It's like it... Like, why? Why isn't that a flat wall? How is that even possible? That's unbelievable. There are so many weird things on Inferno. I remember when Pasha threw a perfect pop flash at top mids, and it landed behind a brick and didn't flash the guy, and he just got absolutely wrecked afterwards.
He's deployed. Optic still in desperate search of their first round in the second half here. MP5 for Snappy, no orb for Yugi. They've got an AK and an occasion. It's about as good as it gets though. I would have thought G2 would be 1 round away from tying things up after the disastrous first half they had. All signs pointing to them right now. Plenty of money. Map control about to be theirs, but good incendiary from Cajun will push them back somewhat. Maybe even segregate one of them.
Get back.
Get back.
Just walking straight into the banana setup. Optic have not had great success though on some of these defenses, and this proves to be the same so far. Snappy left with an MP5, there's only so much he can do. Desperate rotation for the rest of the team towards that B bomb site as Snappy tries to stay alive, but he is just burning. Able to take one down before he dies, and luckily Cajun B's gotten onto the site whilst that was going on, but Optic have had very lackluster defensive setups, even when they know the T's are coming.
Yeah, they get a decent flash in, but still G2 not committing. HE won't do much damage either. Yugi trying to take the aggro away and suggest the occasion isn't on the site. Will they be ready for him? Apparently not. He's got a couple of kills lined up there. Bomb goes down. The bait is perfect from the CT spawn player, and Cajun B might have done enough here for the first round on the board, and indeed he has. It all comes down to that presence from Yugi. Sure, he can't do any frags. He can't suggest that he can push through or do much more with it, but if he does take the attention away, they've already found 2 kills on B. If he keeps firing off shots, they'll assume the side is clear and set Cajun up for something absolutely massive. But there it is, 13-11. They deny the equalizer from G2 at least. So many players went down. There's a big reset potential here.
Weren't really perfectly set up for the trade fragging situation there. Well, indeed, can they reset the CTs? This is another opportunity for G2. Always the positive side when you lose one round after a string of wins. Unless that round is against match point. Pop flash with Smith, spots a player on the sandbags. Did he see Snappy as well? There's the grenade deployed to the sandbag, but how does he regress with a boost? He didn't get a kill. Looking for a second, and there's Smith's a trade. Marvelous.
That was really nice. That was really nice for Smith's existence. Gotta give him the props for that. Really nice team play, good baiting, good setup. Absolutely outplayed Optic on B. But the bomb's still down on second mid, and they haven't moved a muscle just yet. And the same with their Optic. I partially perhaps because Optic are thinking, you know what? We just want to just stack at this point. If they go A, we can maybe win the rounds. If they go B, we're happy to save our guns, because as Henry said, the reset potential is crippling.
Oh boy.
But if they go into A, Optic, that's the one way, maybe that's the only way they can win this round.
Well, that's why they make these gamble stacks. If they go B, they'll just leave it, save the weapons. But if they do come towards the A site, all of a sudden they have a chance. But Kenny S, he feels compelled to explore his options, and surely
Henry, why are they still going to wait?
They won't. They'll fall back if he
But
gets in
look
this
up,
far.
it's
There's no
20
time.
seconds.
There's no time.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, why are they still going? Henry, tell me why!
I don't know now. It's all falling apart. They have to commit, and they'll jump out as Nico starts to spray them down.
Oh,
It
no.
didn't make actually any sense towards the end, did it?
Oh no.
They didn't leave themselves enough time, and it all falls apart. Oh my goodness. So that's actually the worst of both worlds. Not only did he get no kills or rotation frags, he's actually not there to be part of the final commitment. So he got nothing for that apart from being segregated from the squad. So a nice idea. If he had maybe 20 more seconds on the clock, that would have been perfect for Kenny.
Oh man, Optic had given up the round.
Yeah.
They're like, yep, we're just gonna sit over here, save, basically, or maybe you'll come here. But that never ever happens though. It's like that almost never happens. Oh man, what a way to lose a round. And that completely saves Optic from a financial perspective. They were in such a bad spot, but now life is looking good. Got double ops still, and G2 have been really, really solid at taking control of Banana, getting the kills, trading out effectively. Absolutely gutting for them to lose that one.
This is a very interesting scenario now. We've had some absolutely mental rounds go through, and G2 still with cash though. We'll be feeling a little bit gutted at that one. 2 in a row for Optic as they avoid the reset. They've got the AWP and Snappy and indeed Yugi now. AKs for 2 of the CTs. Also, less than a minute once again. No frags or real damage, but map control for G2 granted towards middle. No presence of Banana whatsoever. Suggests they will be fully committing. You can't really justify going back if you've lost Banana completely. You've got no presence there. You don't know if they're down towards logs, for example. You're going to have to commit here. Nico with the Molotov. Doesn't land successfully. Right-click flashbang as G2 fully commit now. Surely coming out the apartment any second.
2 pop flashes. Down they go. Nico's blind as well. I think you may have seen some players. And those are 2 people taken out. Yugi looking for another one, but he can't get it. Do Optic have the money for the next round? That is the question. They were gifted an extra round by G2. And the money will be tight, but they have a lead to play with, so maybe they choose to build on it. Decisions have to be made.
I've been really surprised by... So it seems like the biggest problem for Optic is when the push comes to the bomb site, it doesn't seem like they can hold. They can maybe have some scrappy fights and maybe get some 1-for-1s, you know, before the... You know, if it's on Banana or perhaps in the apartments or maybe top mid, but as soon as it gets to G2 running into the B bomb site with the grenades or running into the A site with the grenades, it seems like G2 just win that. battle pretty convincingly most of the time. Optic really struggling to hold on, which for me, you know, the last games we saw, you know, last night were from Team Liquid, and Team Liquid on Inferno are so impressed by how you just can't kill them on the CT when they're on the CT side. They have all these incredible setups, amazing baits, amazing spacing, great utility work. It's so hard to break them on the CT side.
Well, I think Optic are giving them way too much space at the start of the round. The fact there's no presence towards apartments or middle, and G2 can just justify now walking up without any grenades whatsoever. They're so confident in the ability just to walk through and have mid. That means their execution potential is very deadly, because not only are they incredibly close to the bomb site, they have almost all the smokes, all the flashbangs. They can bait them out, and they're not even sending anyone towards B. The fact Optic are not even punishing anywhere on the map, that's a massive problem. As the rush comes through, G2, great work so far. They get the initial kill, and once again, they've got full control of the map. Middle's open once more. They can even go back to middle. No presence at all from the CTs. They haven't challenged B. They're just sitting back and losing out to the individual Angels right now. And damage inflicted to Smith's and body, but there's still plenty of time, and they've got a 5-on-4 in their favor.
Yeah, if G's just walk into the A bomb site, this is going to be nigh impossible for Optic to stop. Yugi will likely be isolated with that AWP, and it'll have to be Nico with a massive response towards the pit position, which I imagine is where he'll be late rounds. But G2 actually going back once again for banana control, and they've been really good at moving between top mid and banana in the mid rounds. And Optic, they're going to have to show us a better defense here, but this really looks like it should be G2's rounds. All the nades ready to sail into that B-bomb site.
It will be a long rotation for two of these CT players. Although they're playing from a position where they could just give it up if this boost doesn't work out. Got Nico rotating towards CT spawn in the meantime. There's the boost taken out. Surely it's already safe territory. 3 versus 5 for Optic. Although Snappy's going on with a pop flash. Almost found 2. How can I go for this? They're committing to this Optic. Trying to the plant. That's successful.
10 seconds, James.
Oh boy. Can Smith get this bomb down?
Oh, he's low.
He's so red. Oh, the transfer!
Oh, he hit him once.
2 HP, 2-1-2. Optic have given themselves more than a fighting chance at this point. A jumping Kenyas, how did he miss that one? They both exchange again, falling back to Banana now on both these teams. And they're lining up for Nico. Optic have stolen the round away. That was 3 versus 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3 versus 5, and it was just down to that bomb denial. It made things incredibly awkward, because sure, if they had maybe 20 seconds of the clock, they could slow things down, get the trade, then plant, but Smiths had to be taken out of the equation while the bomb had to be planted again. Smiths has to desperately scramble away. Yugi's going to kill in CT from that position, and they're both so low at this point, and unfortunately, no utility, no time, both trying to scramble towards Banana, and it will be Optic with match point first. It was a desperate first half from G2. They got right back into this. As we said though, Dan, this is what we've seen from G2 consistently throughout this. They'll get battered in the first half, bring it back to a reasonable scoreline, be in the conversation for taking the map, then it all crumbles at the very last few moments. We've seen this, what, 3 or 4 times now?
Yeah, it's really weird to watch.
It's got to be the most depressing way to lose as well. Like, at least if you get battered, it's like, well, at least that's over. If you invest another 45 minutes into the game, you get so close, it's like, oh, for God's sake, it's happened again. Not to say they've lost yet, they can still take it to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, the buy from Optic is not really good. They got UMP out there. Instead of something better, well, I suppose that's really only it, and lacking utility in Yugi is actually pretty good otherwise, so take that back. Especially considering the fact that the UMP can be so good on this map. The running gun, especially as we can see there, deep banana. Will Snappy get another flash? Oh, there's a smoke. Surely he will punish this. Oh my goodness. Can pull the UMP out in time to get the headshots, missed. Not finding the punish, and Optic start the round out with a 5 versus 4. And good positioning towards that A-bomb site. G2, they feel like they have a window into that A-bomb site. And they will make the move.
Yugi looking to close things out here, chaps. 3 versus 2, but he is looking a little bit scrappy in the pit, but they might have done it at this point. It will be looking likely 16-12 in favor of Optic. It's 4 versus 1 existence with less than 20 HP. No time to really maneuver. He's got CT's locking him in. He's just hoping a mistake is made, holding towards the arch. Seeing him get the 1 tap, but I think we might be done.
Here's the scope. Yugi having a look. And that will be that, 16-12 indeed for Optic. Some rounds towards the end there, which I think G2 will wish had gone another way, but Optic, after both teams struggled on the CT half, they won enough, gave themselves a chance on the T side and closed it out on the CT.
There we go. Most of the rounds played after a 12-3 half. G2 clawed their way back valiantly. It was looking so good for so long. They controlled the money, the pace, the clutches were going in their favor. Kenny S did what he could on the CT half. It wasn't quite enough, but the T side is where they looked glorious. But it came down to Optic fighting in the pit and managing to close things out in the end. It was a close game, but overall G2, another disappointing finish. How many times can they have these comebacks and not convert them? They do have another map to play, of course, and hopefully we can see them do much better. But this is Optic just closing things out here, right towards the end. There you go.
I did not expect both teams to have such struggles on the CT side. I think Optic, although they managed to win this one, it is obviously by credit of how strong their T side was. And in reality, we just saw struggles on their CT side. We saw, as you mentioned, struggles to really pressure the map correctly and to find kills in the early to mid round as the CT side, whether that's towards Banana Apartments or top mid. And at the same time, you know, from G2, it's just some just very marginal clutch-based situations, and that's sort of where Optic were able to just scrape those few extra rounds in. So neither team with convincing CT sides, which I find interesting.
Here are the scores on the doors, ladies and gents, who will be existent at the very top with 24 frags, 16 deaths, and like I said, when you got Smiths and existence at the very top, I don't know if you guys agree with me, I actually think that's pretty horrendous news. That's not the way it should be going. You want those guys to be fragging with the other lads, but you need the names like Shoxy and Kenny S. They need to be flying the flag. They need to be up there. They're your star players, and for me, that suggests something went horribly wrong when the stats look like this. Either way, 16-12. I still think that was an entertaining game, although it was lopsided one half. Seeing G2 recover and looking strong for so long was at least interesting, and hopefully we'll get them warmed up for the second map.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. It's weird, isn't it? We've seen so many lopsided maps. I do wonder what's going on in that respect.
Well, Robs has tweeted just now that he feels like CSGO is so random at this point. It doesn't really make any sense of the results we're seeing and the lopsided scores, the T-half blowouts and stuff like that. This feels like everything's up in the air at this point. It's very difficult to work out where we are with CSGO at this point. But we at least know where we are. We are going to be taking a quick break and being back with the second map, which will hopefully be just as exciting between Optic and G2. Do not go anywhere.